Sony will just have it. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, really great. So welcome everyone. I know other people are going to be joining us and we'll just fold them into this conversation this evening. I'm Deborah Bradford and I am so thrilled to host this Stories of Hope event tonight with our special guest, Janie Hawkins, and National Marketing Director for Juice Plus, Doug Farrar. And whoever invited you tonight, be sure to thank them because I think you're going to leave with some really inspiring time together. And there will be a time to ask questions at the end. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. So a little bit about myself. I am 72 years old. I am vital and healthy. I'm on no medications, haven't been for almost 10 years now, since I took a pretty radical turn into plant-based eating. And I was a yoga teacher. Even as a teenager, I was interested in food values. I was a nerd and would go to the library and I would look up the government food values documents and I would read them. It just caught my attention. But left to my own devices, I like sweets. And certainly over the pandemic, I ate my share. And I'm really leaning into, I've released about 8 pounds so far in the pandemic, really leaning into continuing my journey to release the rest of this weight and also to maintain my healthy status and improve my fitness. So, you know, going to the gym, it's one nice thing about being over 65, you can go to gyms for free, which is so cool. So that's me. I'm going to let Janie introduce herself and Doug then, and then we'll get into the conversation for the evening. Janie?
Thanks, Deborah. Thanks for having me. And thank you to my guests that are on tonight. I'm so happy to see you guys here. I'm just excited to share my stories. Some of you have heard it before, but I think Deborah or Doug will be asking some questions to share my story shortly.
Thanks so much. And what part of the United States are you in?
I'm west of Chicago, about an hour west. So yeah, it's been beautiful here lately. So I know I was just talking to Doug and Deborah a little bit there in Florida and Texas. And so it's kind of fun to see how things are going around the country through these Zoom calls.
Really great. All right, Doug.
Well, thanks again for having me on, Deborah. And it's great to be on a panel with Janie. She's awesome. I can't wait for you guys to hear her story. She's awesome. My name's Doug Farrar. I live in Jacksonville, Florida. Recent transplant up here from South Florida, down near the Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton area. I lived my whole life. And yeah, I just really am passionate about getting healthy and continuing on a health journey. And I'm excited to share with you guys a little bit of my story. Hopefully it's something that can resonate for you. Yeah, I've had some struggles with weight loss and also with just cardiovascular disease and things like that. So if you know somebody, you can get them on here or drag a spouse or somebody onto the Zoom real quick. Maybe I'll be able to give them some inspiration to make some changes like I've been able to do. So thank you, Deborah.
You are so welcome. And it's such an honor to have you join us this evening in this new series. This is the second in a series that will go until the middle of October. So twice a month we'll be having new guests and new ways to get healthy and stay healthy. So in this format, I'm going to ask each of you a couple of questions, and I'm going to ask the first question of each of you, and then I'll ask the second question of each of you. So the first question is, how did you learn about Juice Plus? What were things like that had Juice Plus come into your awareness?
Okay, well, for me, 19 years ago, I had two young boys. They were 3 and 5, and we were that family that was sick all the time. And that was no fun, missing out on life. They missed birthday parties for their friends. We missed family gatherings. We'd have to split up sometimes if one of them was doing okay, and part of the family would go because my guys had asthma and allergies, and they just, once their allergies kicked up specifically, then it weakens your immune system. So you'd catch every little bug that's going around, and then that would kick up their asthma. And so for them, it just got worse and worse. And they were getting sick. It was 2004 that a friend of mine actually shared Juice Plus with me. I had been taking my boys to the elders of our church even to pray for them. And so God is good. And he sent my friend who shared a simple way to add a wide variety of fruits and vegetables to their diet every single day. And mind you, obviously, when you're a mom of young kids, my kids ate well. So my first thought was, I mean, I get it, but why would I need this? Because I do feed my kids well. But on the flip side, what I was doing wasn't working. And here in the Midwest, we can't get vine ripened produce year round. It's just not going to happen. And when things are allowed to ripen fully on the vine, as we can tell when we have gardens, we can tell in the taste, that even the taste is more robust. I mean, you can just tell that that's when the most nutritional value is when they're allowed to ripen. And pretty much any store, no matter where you're at in the country, really, not just the Midwest, isn't going to be able to have time to transport the things there and then be ripe when they're picked. They would be garbage by the time it was time for someone to purchase it. So anyhow, having a wide variety of vine ripened nutrition in their diet made sense to me. And so we thought we would give it a try. And the first month we were on Juice Plus, the little gummies for my boys, was the first month they hadn't gotten sick. And I was so excited because we could get our life back on track again. We could start doing things and planning things instead of always having a plan B in place in case they weren't feeling well. And so I was so grateful for that. And so my husband and I thought about it for ourselves too, because we thought, well, there's a history in our family of heart disease and cancer and arthritis and dementia and pretty much anything can be influenced for the positive with good nutrition. And so we thought, why not do it for ourselves, just for preventative reasons, to get a wide variety of fruits and vegetables in our diet every day. And it was amazing because it was a savings for us, because we didn't have to pay for my boys to have 2 co-pays to go see the doctor every single month, and 4 inhalers and 2 antibiotics and 2 steroids if it got that bad that they'd need prednisone. So it saved us money. And more importantly, I wasn't flooding their bodies with all these drugs with the multiple side effects. I was flooding their bodies with fruits and vegetables with all the positive benefits. So I was so excited. And my husband and I, we will always be on it. If I had an achy knee that was waking me up at night back then, and by adding this nutrition to my diet, I wasn't even thinking about it because I had 2 sick kids. But by adding this to my diet, that went away over time. I no longer got 4 and 5 sinus infections a year. And so thank goodness for that. That was a relief. And my husband's cholesterol was borderline at that time. And thank God with Juice Plus and some other changes he made, that's been back down in the normal range for the past 18 years. So he's never had to hop on Lipitor or whatever. And so thank God for that. So yeah, we're grateful for it. And we're grateful to just have that extra nutrition going through our bodies every single month. Oh, I can't hear you, Deborah.
That's amazing. And congratulations on helping your family get their lives back for the fullness of life, except always, like you said, having to have a plan B for if things don't go well.
Yeah.
Really great. Thank you for that. Doug, what was going on in your life that had Juice Plus catch your attention?
Well, 22 years ago, so I can beat you, Janie. 22 years ago, a friend of ours told us about Juice Plus. And, back then my wife and I were in our early 30s. We were just beginning to start a family. I was a school teacher and she was a guidance counselor. I was the band director and she was the guidance counselor at the same school. And actually, I had just started graduate school to become a school administrator. So I was teaching during the day. And of course, when you're a band director, you have night rehearsals, after school stuff, football games, you name it. Plus, I was doing graduate school Wednesday nights and all day on Saturdays for 2 years. So I was busy. I was really run down. I would get sick all the time. I always got like two serious respiratory type, throat infections every year, sinus type stuff. And it would put me down hard, like out of work for at least 3 or 4 or 5, sometimes 5 days. And I just took it really hard every time. And my wife, she had really bad allergies. She had like the bumps on the back of her arms and all that kind of stuff and on her legs. And it just made sense to us because when you're in your 30s, you're not really thinking about stuff too much. You just kind of power through everything and you're still like so young. I didn't think I was young at the time, but now that I'm in my 50s, it's like 30. It's like you're just beginning, So especially with little kids it's difficult to get them to eat well. And then I think Sharon might have been pregnant with our second at the time. And so she went ahead and she was the first one. She really discovered Juice Plus for us. And, I was just busy doing all that stuff I was saying I was doing with work. So if she put it in my hand and said, here, take these pills, I would. So I kind of took them sometimes. I kind of didn't take them sometimes. I'll be honest about that. And I don't think I had as good results initially. I definitely felt more energy. I did notice that I got sick less. And so I did start taking more of the pills, and we used the capsules, not the gummies back then. And then the shakes would be in our house too. Really good smoothies. But, to be honest with you, we weren't the best eaters. Okay. So Janie, we weren't trying to do all the right things. We would eat fast food back then. I was kind of, when you're young, when you're 20, getting out of college and you gain like 2, 3, 4, 5 pounds a year, it doesn't seem like a big deal, right? Well, 10, 20, 30 years later, it's a really big deal. It adds up. So I needed to look at what I was doing. I was definitely feeling better. So that was like the first phase of Juice Plus for us. But the second phase is really the most important one for me. That's when I had discovered that, we had our daughter when we were at 40. And I just realized that the path I was on, by this time, I had gotten up to like 265 pounds. My cholesterol was high. My blood pressure was high. I think my cholesterol was like 280 total. My blood pressure always ran high. I have a heart disease in my family. I needed to make some changes. So over time, I have made serious changes. My cholesterol now is 125 total. My blood pressure is completely normal. My weight right now is 205. So I've lost 60 pounds over the years. I still want to lose another 20 pounds or so. I want to get to the point where my mom's saying, you're too skinny, you're too skinny. That's my goal. But I found out a couple of things that I want to share with you guys because I never know who's going to hear these recordings and I got to tell my story. Number one, everybody should take Juice Plus. It's really good. It's just fruits and vegetables in a capsule. And as Janie said, there's no condition, including no condition, that more fruits and vegetables won't help you with. You will feel better. You'll sleep better. You'll have more energy. It's scientifically proven to do what it does. And the research is extensive on the product. But at the same time, so I know Juice Plus helped me way back when, but since I was still eating chicken wings and pizza here and there, I also realized that you can't, let's just say, what if I didn't take Juice Plus and I was just eating like 15 servings of fruits and vegetables every day, but I was still eating chicken wings and pizza? It would still cause cardiac problems, especially in somebody that has a history in their family. So you have to kind of have the whole package, where you're monitoring what you eat, you exercise, you supplement in a way that isn't like some manufactured fake product. It's just fruits and vegetables, and that bridges the gap to what we really should be having for ideal health. So I realized that making the changes has really become a lifestyle for me, which brings in the third component of the community with Juice Plus. It's incredible. People like Deborah and Janie and other people, I see some names on here. It's just changed my life, because I've gone from being a guy that doesn't really think about things and just ate fast food and whatever, to realizing, wait a minute, this isn't going to get better as I get older. It's not going to go away. It's going to get worse. And so all those things combined have just made a huge impact in our family's health.
Doug, thank you so much. I know there's so much more to share, and I appreciate you both of you getting us started in this conversation. Now, the next question is, because both of you are participating in the partnership that's available through Juice Plus as business owners, what inspired you to start sharing Juice Plus?
I can go ahead and start with that one. Well, for me, like I had shared earlier, there was a lot of heart disease, cancer, arthritis, some dementia in my family. And when you learn all these things, the first month, my friend was not only sharing this gift of good health with me, but also lots of educational resources. And this community is full of doctors, nurses, chiropractors, you name it, biologists, everything, exercise physicists, every gamut of health that you can imagine. And so they are sharing the latest of health information. When I first started, we were learning about trans fats when the government wasn't making a big deal about it, when you weren't even like reading about it in newspapers and things like that. And then eventually they started really educating people. And now you'll see it on labels and things. But Juice Plus, they share things before it's common stream, because all these people have a passion to share health and wellness with people. And so it's great to learn cutting edge things. And I was so excited to share what I was learning, because we had gone through a really hard time. To take my kids to the elders of my church when they're 3 and 5 to pray for them, you're at desperate measures when you're having to do that. And I know the pain and hardships of dealing with things like that. And there's people out there everywhere that are hurting in some way, shape, or form. So I was just super excited to share with everyone that I knew, to maybe make a difference in their life, because you don't know whose life you're going to impact for the better. Maybe you could help someone prevent a heart attack, or prevent asthma getting worse. I mean, I've had story after story of great transformations of people's health, of the people that I've worked with, and I absolutely love it. And then when I learned about the mission of the company, the president of our company, it's a privately held company that's been around since 1970. Juice Plus came around in 1993. But our president, he created a stable and lasting company to help as many people as possible realize their dreams, not the company's bottom line, their dreams, whether it's their health dreams, people not wanting to miss parties because their kids are sick all the time, or people worried about their cholesterol, or whatever it is, whether it's their health goals or whether it's their financial goals, because it's a very unique marketing plan that's just meant to help people realize their dreams, however big or small that is, whatever your dream may be. And I absolutely love that you can share with a company like that. And then a company with a heart. I was in Tennessee over early December to run in the St. Jude Marathon. I did the 10K. I walked most of it because I got an injury shortly before that. So I was a little disappointed that I couldn't run more, but anyhow, we've been the title sponsor of that marathon for decades. That's the number one-day fundraiser for St. Jude there is. And who doesn't love St. Jude? I mean, the stories of transformation of health there are huge. And so our company also helps Volunteers of America and Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Jay Martin, the president of our company, has a huge heart. And most importantly, well, one of the most important things is just with the health transformation for my kids. I can share this knowing that it's something safe. There's always going to be copycats out there. Juice Plus has been around 30 years. So when there's something good, people are going to try to duplicate it. But there's no possible way anyone could ever catch up to our depth and width of research that we have proving that Juice Plus is safe and effective and does great things for the body. I just pulled like 3 research studies. I have just a few that I wanted to show really quick. There's a few publications in sports and medicine. I mean, even athletes need good nutrition, even more so than someone because of the extra oxidation as they're working out. This one is for kids health, the Journal of Pediatrics. This was done at a school in Florida. And Journal of Clinical Periodontics. So even like inflammation in your gums, inflammation anywhere in your body is a precursor to lots of negative things. And so I was first interested in the immune system studies because I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't realize that asthma was also an inflammatory issue. So to have research showing how it helps get your immune system back into balance. Now there's 4 different studies on different demographics of people showing that. And then also the inflammation studies, and then there's heart health studies and on all different topics. It's just wonderful. So for me to be able to share with people something that is the cream of the crop, that like I said, you'll see copycats out there being advertised here or there, but to have actual scientific proof that these fruit and vegetable powders are such a powerful combination and that they get in the body and make big changes is pretty awesome. And kids can eat free. We haven't mentioned that yet, but any adult who decides that they want to add Juice Plus to their diets, not only can get their kids free, it used to be for 4 years, but now in the generosity of Jay Martin, he's opened that up. So any child between age 4 up to age 26, someone could literally, for a quarter of a century, get their child's Juice Plus for free if they stayed eating Juice Plus. And so again, that's Jay Martin. That's his generosity. He just wants to help improve the health markers of our country so much. And so anyhow, I could go on, but you guys have great things to say, so I'm not. So.
Thank you so much, Janie. So informative, and your passion really comes through there.
Thanks.
Thank you. Doug, what began to inspire you to share Juice Plus?
Well, and Janie, that was awesome, by the way. I really loved what you said. So thanks for sharing that. But, from my experience in doing this, my wife and I have been doing this business a long time. This is all we do. I mean, this is both of our incomes now. I retired from I did make it to being a school administrator. I was actually in the principal intern program, ready to get my own school in Broward County, Florida. But, this business gave us the confidence financially for me to walk away, not to Juice Plus at first, but to another opportunity where I would walk away from my retirement income, basically in the Florida retirement system. So I was able to start actually a university. At the time, it was just a unaccredited college program, but now it's a thing called Ocean's Edge University that trains church worship leaders and Christian musicians for either becoming worship leaders or working in Nashville in the music industry. And it's been awesome. I did that for 10 years. We've had kids getting Grammy Awards and doing some, if you're involved in like that modern church movement, then there's no doubt that my students are involved in the music and the video and stuff that you experience in that culture. So it's pretty cool. And eventually I did make a decision after, I guess it was probably after seeing my wife move so far ahead in this, and I was doing it part-time, helping her out after a while. And I was always attracted to the culture of this company, the people in the community. Granted at time, this college I started was based out of a church initially. And I found this to be a more uplifting, positive culture, even than being in that environment. So it was very, very attractive. It also it kind of made an impact on me that, I'd be working 12-hour days and come home and she was still in her pajamas and her paycheck had surpassed mine. So this whole working from home thing really got my interest. So about 7 years ago, I did decide, we made a family decision that, what quality of life do we want? What's really important to us? And we decided that, because no matter what, whatever I was making doing Juice Plus, if I walk away from my job, which was 6 figures, I'm going to lose that 6 figures. You know what I mean? So that was a hard decision financially, but the quality of life has been incredible. The way I've been present for my kids, more so for my daughter, since she was, she's younger than the boys who are grown now. It's been incredible, so it's really been incredible. I think there's 3 reasons that people tend to come into this business and do this. First of all, would be for fun, just to be part of a healthy community, having a little fun money on the side, making a couple $100 a month. We have lots of people that do that on our team. And that's great. That's what their interest level is. They're kind of in a healthy community, and maybe they even try to just pay for their products or something like that. The second way that people come in is through fulfillment. And that's what I'm hearing Janie talk about a little bit, of like being part of a cause, like making a difference in people's lives. And I love doing that and stuff. I love it. I love especially mentoring and coaching people on our business team of how to reach their goals. I've always done that in my career. However, the third reason people come in is really the reason I love it now. It's financial reasons. Some people just want to bridge the gap and make a little extra money. And because here's the deal, like $500, I don't care if you're a millionaire or if you're working paycheck to paycheck, $500 a month in your paycheck will, in your budget, is going to make an impact for everybody, even for a millionaire. But the thing is, I also saw the opportunity, because I've always been entrepreneurial and I like this kind of stuff. So I was observing and meeting people in the company, and I realized, wait a second, this isn't just like kind of like fun money if you don't want it to be. This could be like a legit thing. And that's when I really got involved and learned more about how this business model works, even historically, and the potential for it, just reading up and studying guys like Robert Kiyosaki, Kiyosaki, Donald Trump. Gosh, there's so many more of people that are knowledgeable financially that endorse a business model like the Juice Plus company. And where else could I have an opportunity to have a franchise with a company has like $15 billion in sales over its lifetime. We're like 800 million a year right now, yearly. Where can I get a franchise for $52 a year? I mean, if I want to open up a Chick-fil-A or a McDonald's, I need $1 million. Chick-fil-A less, but but still, it's just I don't have $1 million sitting around in the bank to open up a great business, but I have $52 and I have desire and vision and goals and dreams. And so what my wife and I have been able to do is work together, work in a field that we love, which is this health and wellness field. And then the company adds in the Tower Gardens, which I'm just nuts over. Not only can you just have the fruits and vegetable capsules and the great smoothies, but now we can grow our own stuff on the Tower Gardens, and then also share that with people to impact their family's health. But even bigger than that, I'm now getting involved in sharing that in schools, sharing that to commercial farmers, things like that. It's just fun. And financially, I just love the feeling of not having like a boss that decides what my value is. Like, I mean, what if somebody says I'm worth like $100,000? Somebody might say, well, that's a pretty good job. I mean, you got $100,000 job. That's awesome. You're awesome. Well, what if I consider myself worth even more? What if I want to be worth more? What if I want to make $200,000 a year? I mean, I didn't have that option being a school principal. I was going to max out at like $120,000. So I just love it that there is no ceiling on this. It all comes down to us designing our lives. You know, we don't grind as hard as some people I know in this. We certainly do more than some people that I know in Juice Plus, but you can kind of choose what your income is going to be based on how hard or how much you want to put into it. It's just like anything else. You get out of it what you put into it. So that's what attracted me to Juice Plus, the culture, and just the opportunity to do something that I never thought as a guy that was as a school teacher and his wife, another school teacher, that we could live the lifestyle that we live and make the kind of money we're making, but also have freedom while we do it. That's pretty cool.
Wow, Doug, that's so inspiring. I'm inspired for a future that you shared, you know, so great. Thank you so much. This is a great time to see if anyone who's joined us has any questions. You can either go down to the bottom of your screen to the reactions area and raise your hand, or you can turn on your camera and raise your physical hand. Any questions of Janie or Doug? Well, that's great. Is there anything in closing that, well, I would like to say first, thank you for each of you to come and join us this evening. This is session 2 of a series that will go twice monthly on Tuesday nights at this time through the middle of October. And each time we will have different guest speakers sharing a bit about their health journey and what inspires or inspired them to take this on for themselves and their families and the future that they could create. And as Doug was saying, the quality of life now for being associated with this company, the Juice Plus company. I want to say, for those of you who are guests, please get back with the person who invited you this evening. If you have any questions or if you want to become a customer of Juice Plus and try the products, there's a small line of products that are excellently crafted for your benefit. And also the tower gardens, which Doug mentioned, which are vertical garden systems where we grow our own food. I have 3 at home myself, 1 indoors and 2 outdoors, and I just love them. And so I'm going to stop our recording now. And again, you each have a wonderful evening. If you want to come back to another session of this, look to the person who invited you for additional information, and we'll see you again. Have a good evening.
Thanks. You too, Deborah.
Thanks, Deborah.
Thanks.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
You're so welcome.
Have a great night.
Everybody have a great night.